Hello, everybody. It is I, Stippling Vaughn, and I'm here at my local dive bar getting work done. I'm working on Castle Hill Lighthouse. It's by Newport, Rhode Island. And I know because of the links I'm going to put, I'm probably going to get people that have never watched my channel before. So, just to give you a quick explanation, I do all my work at my local dive bar. That's the reason why you hear music in the background. That's the reason why you're going to hear people talking in the background. So if you hear something that you disagree with or you find offensive, this is what happens when you go into the real world. You talk to people and you hear people say things that you may not agree with. More importantly, like I said, this is a dive bar, okay? So you're going to hear people using vulgarity. Just part of how they express themselves. So, but no, this is a Castle Rock Lighthouse out by Newport, Rhode Island. Um, the reason why I'm doing this lighthouse is because I got a box of 10 lighthouse books from my uncle the other day, and I'd already started drawing this one because I'd flipped through some old calendars for reference and like, would be a cool lighthouse just to do real quick, and it turned out it was this one. So that's the reason why I'm working on it. Um, Again, if you're new, and specifically if you're a lighthouse enthusiast and you hear that provide you with incorrect information or I pronounce something incorrectly, I apologize. Please let me know in the chat. Please let me know in the comments. Remember, a like and a subscribe goes a long way. So please. Now, why I do lighthouses? Lighthouses, I'll go into depth in a future video if I don't have this one done by next Saturday. So, but this is Castle Rock Lighthouse in Rhode Island. Why was this lighthouse put where it is? Okay, it's in a bay outside of Rhode Island or part of Rhode Island, and it is called the Narragansett Bay. And the reason why it's an ideal location uh, for boats and yachts because of its protection from the sea, so it protects ships from bad weather. So it made it ideal because of the rock formations around it. Um, this bay was used by the French fleet during the Revolutionary War. And I mean, if you go up there, a lot of yachts and boatsmen have their yachts and whatnot in this bay because of the protection from the storms, from even hurricanes, except for the Great Hurricane of 1938. That this bay is, if you go up to Rhode Island, you'll hear a lot about about that hurricane. It was recorded to have the most deaths in the United States history. It was like 600 deaths, I think it was. So, prior to uh, the lighthouse being put in place, this bay was ideal for like the super rich, the Vanderbilts. The Vanderbilts, of course, anybody who's watched the Men Who Built America miniseries on the History Channel, you know that the Vanderbilts predated the Rockefellers and the Carnegies. So they had their homes there. And one particular uh, individual, he was a famous naturalist named Alex Agassiz. Again, I know I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I do apologize. He initially would not allow a lighthouse on his property. So as a result, the steamboat companies to assist their ships with getting in and out of the bay, they painted the rock shores white to aid in navigation. But eventually, in 1890, he gave in, and this lighthouse was constructed there. Um, now, um, yes. So again, I'm looking at my notes here. So yeah, he eventually did give in. He was from 1835 to 1910. Uh, but 1890, he did finally agree to allow a lighthouse to be put on his property to aid ships. Now, this lighthouse, one thing that makes this lighthouse different and unique from a lot of other lighthouses is because this lighthouse, this foundation, okay, was cut into the rock. What I mean by that is they didn't just set it with bricks and stone and mortar and just build it on top. They built it into the the foundation was built into the rock's face itself. If anybody wants to know more about that, I would advise you to go and look up the book called Lighthouse Stevenson. Robert Louis Stevenson, of course, is known for uh, his book uh, Swiss Family Robinson, but his ancestor, Robert Stevenson, was a renowned and in many ways a innovative uh, builder of lighthouses over in Scotland. And the example that I'll give for this lighthouse here is Bell Rock Lighthouse in Scotland. And what he did was they carved into the reef, okay, where they were going to build the lighthouse. And when they built into it, what it was is then on the mainland, and from a stone quarry, they dug up and cut the stones prior to being transferred out. So think of it this way: they have the quarry, and they've carved this out. But when they carved it out, they didn't just carve it out; they carved it out so it had tongue and groove segments. So when they bring the stones over, they're pre-cut and labeled. They would set in. So it was stone against stone and no mortar without any mortar holding the two together. So it essentially helped fuse the rocks together. So if you were actually to Google tongue and groove, that's how they cut the stones to fit together. And that's one of the reasons why this lighthouse was able to hold up so much better and so much longer, and still stands today, than other lighthouses of its era. Okay, like I said, if you read up on uh, the Bell Rock Lighthouse, you'll get a much better understanding, especially of that book, Lighthouse Stevenson. It goes into great detail as to how they did that with the stonemasons at the stone quarry or in the mainland, and then took them out and then put them together. This gave that I guess another way to put it is that it was done like it was pre-cut, prefab. So you think about it this way: how when you work with Legos, how they interlock together, and how once you have it built, it's harder for you to break it apart if you're to drop it or something. I mean, let's say it was an X-wing fighter, the wings might break, but the overall form, that cylinder form, would survive the fall. Same thing goes with these lighthouses. It's the reason why these lighthouses still stand today when they were built in the 1700s and 1800s. So it's very. I'm always amazed by how lighthouses are able to hold up against weather. One of the things that helps lighthouses hold up against hurricane winds and whatnot is because they're cylinder. So the wind bows around the lighthouse instead of hitting instead of like a house where it hits that house straight on. The winds hit it and then wrap around the conal form of the lighthouse. And that's one of the reasons why there's so much history with lighthouses being as saving individuals, not just, I think of the lighthouse in Galveston, Texas, and how the only safe spot the for the community during the horrific hurricanes that they had there back in like the Civil War time, pre-Civil War, after Civil War, was the lighthouse because of that. So, okay, this area right here, these stones, I'm going to go very hard with the dots here, and then I'm going to just cover the whole thing with dots, okay, because this area is going to be darker. Now, I'm not going really super dark right now, but what I'll do is later on, after I have more of it done, I will add more dots to make this area darker, just as this area here and here. I'm putting light dots in, but I'll probably go in and put an extra layer of dots to make the whole thing darker. So, yes, I do use reference material for this when I'm working with lighthouses. The image I'm using particularly is from an old calendar of mine. So that's what I'm using as my reference for doing the drawing. I'll look over and glance at it. But once I have it drawn, I'll still take the artistic liberty, such as you take a look at the lighting here. The lighting here evens it out, so this plane and this plane are relatively the same. It's slightly darker over here, but you really can't tell. When I stipple this, I'm putting in darker here, but what I'll do then is after I have the whole thing done, I'll probably put more darks, more stippling on this side to give this side a darker look to it. So, and then also what I'll probably do is go with much more of a push-pull between light, medium, dark, whereas here I'll probably just have medium and dark, so that pushes this back. And then lastly, I've got the waves here where I draw the waves, the crests and the shallows of the waves. I'll do less when I do it here. I don't normally will do anything in the white area here. I'll just leave it alone. Reason being is because normally, I won't do it with this one, but normally with these lighthouses, what I'll do is I'll make a copy of it and then I will color the copy. A lot of times I'll take these and I'll turn them into cards, like gift cards, greeting cards, that type of thing that I'll try to sell. Whether I try to sell it to local businesses around lighthouses or just have them available when I do these streams. I also sometimes use them when I am doing art auctions, or if I go to local shows and I have them available. So yeah, because believe it or not, even when I go to a comic book show, and mostly yes, if you're watching for the first time, I normally most of the stuff I do when you look at my catalog of videos, it's comic book related. I normally when I do these lighthouses and I take them to shows, believe it or not, a lot of times the lighthouses sell better than the comic book stuff I'm doing. So, but yeah, I think eventually Miss Stippling and I will probably start doing out-of-state shows on the weekends, more towards along the coast. And what we'll do is we'll have the lighthouses, the prints and the cards available for people to buy. So I know Miss Stippling will like that because we'll be traveling. And me, I'll like it because I'm selling my stuff. So, but so no, that's a quick rundown of the history of uh, Castle Rock Lighthouse. My I'm hoping to have this done before my uncle heads back home, so he'll be in the area. Well, actually, him and my mom are going on a cruise So hopefully after he's done with the cruise, before he heads home, I'll have this done so I can give this to him. And it's just going to be a thank you to him for giving me all. He gave me 10 books on lighthouses, and I love them so much. In fact, like I said, Lighthouse Stevenson is one of the books that I love that book so much. I've reread it twice. A lot of the information in it, whether or not be specific information, the general information in that book, I still know it, and uh, uh, I retain it. For this video with the information about Castlereagh Lighthouse, I used 3 books that I'd gotten from him. The one was called simply The Lighthouse Book, copyright 1999 by Sarah Band Incorporated, and the author was Samuel Willard Crompton. The other one was The Ultimate Book of Lighthouses, again by Samuel Willard Crompton. It has a copyright of 2000 and 2007. Same incorporated company, Saraband. And then lastly, uh, Anatomy of a Lighthouse by Michael J. Reen. Again, uh, Saraband printing, uh, copyright 2000. So if you want to read up on these lighthouse or on this lighthouse, those are where I got my information for this video. Uh, I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if I always would look forward to hearing from my viewers. So if you are watching this video, please give me a like. It helps me out, helps out the algorithm to suggest it towards other individuals to check out my videos. Almost all my videos, all work is done in the stipple format. The stipple format, as you can see, is where I'm working just with dots, and that's how I do all my work. Even if I'm doing a person or a car, I do it with rendered in the dot format. And if you like it, subscribe, comment, subscribe. It helps me out. But if you don't, I hope you at least enjoyed the video. If you give me a like, just to let me know that you were here and you enjoyed it, help me out greatly. But if not, remember, life is stressful. And that's why you should always take it one dot at a time.